really awesome.
My name is Robin Palmer.
I'm Wendy Thorpe.
Vanessa Syringa.
You're going to get the sign. I feel the pain. I'm Professor Steve Davis, Lone Star College, Kingwood.
I'm Dr. Tice.
Well, I came out here because I wanted to help bring awareness to the 2-year decision made by our Supreme Court that gave rights to corporations unprecedented in our history, and basically unloaded all kinds of money into our political campaigns where our democracy has become bought.
Now, do you think you being out here will make a material difference on the body politic?
Well, if I didn't think so, I wouldn't be here. So I really hope that joining with a crowd of people and bringing awareness to others will cause others to think about these things.
Well, look, thank you very much.
I'm an education student at the local college, and I just really feel like as I'm learning about more education system that I'm worried for the future of like my nieces and our children, and I feel like the government has sold our kids off to big entities like book companies. We really need to fight for them to have an equal education to countries like Norway and South Korea, and we're just not getting that right now.
Now, do you think being out here you'll present enough awareness to your neighbors that they will feel that they need to be out here as well?
I think that people sometimes are afraid when they're sitting in their homes and they think no one else thinks like they do, or they don't want to be the one that starts a movement. But if we come out and we show, like, you know, we're all here together, and maybe we don't all agree 100% with each other, but we have the same main ideas, and if we can just get together and show the government that we're not going to take it anymore, then we can really impact change. I mean, we don't need a politician to change something, we can change it ourselves.
Well, look, thank you very much.
I'm supporting all of my friends and all Americans here to support the middle class. We don't have a voice anymore. We need to demand, you know, and tell the government what we need.
Well, thank you very much. Of your sign, the 1% vulture capitalism. Can you tell me about that?
I stole that line from Rick Perry because he was really talking about the reality of Mitt Romney. And here's a man who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and he really hasn't had the interest of the overall society or the workers in mind. He's used his position at Bain Capital to deprive a lot of people of their livelihoods, all in the interest of augmenting his wealth. And so I think vulture capitalism or predatory capitalism very much describes what someone like that does.
They make money from money, but they produce nothing for society.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons we've lost so many well-paying jobs, industrial jobs, and that's the reason so many people are doing poorly.
The whole point of the Occupy protests are to get people to think about the extreme inequality in our society. We recently had a report out that half of Americans live in poverty. Most people think people in poverty are poor, are lazy, shiftless, and don't want a job. But the reality is most people in poverty have a job. If you work a minimum wage job 60 hours a week, you make $22,000 a year. $10 an hour wage and you work full time, you're making $20,000 a year. $20,000 doesn't support a family. So most people living in poverty work hard and are trying to do the right things to get ahead, but the system is set up where people are not unionized, they don't have bargaining rights, and they can't get a living wage. Well, we think that education is really important. A study out of Harvard about a year ago showed that most Americans don't realize how unequal our society is. We have levels of inequality that surpass most third world countries. Our level of inequality in the United States is higher than Uganda or Mexico, higher than China. So we're trying to educate people that this is a problem and this is something that we need to deal with through our political system. And I would just note, Mitt Romney said we shouldn't be talking about this. Inequality is something we should talk about in back rooms, but it's really not an issue for politics. But that's everything that politics is about. It's about who gets what in our society, how the fruits of our labors are distributed. So,
well, thank you very much, Dr. Tice.
Thank you, Egberto.
See ya!